Are layoffs widening in Nigeria's tech space? Nota Deep Dive, a newsletter that's dedicated to Nigeria's tech space, has reported layoffs at e-commerce firm Arlezo and biotechnology firm 54 Gene. Are these isolated incidents or a sign of something more widespread? We're joined by Jeffery Williams-Edem, who is a fintech growth consultant. Jeffrey, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to have you.
Morning, Rosas.
All right. So look, with what this is being reported, and I think 54 Gene put out a statement to the effect that this is correct, but there was no statement from Arlezo. But either way, how do we look at these? These layoffs, isolated incident, or do you think it's something more widespread? Have you heard of any other layoffs and any other tech firms? Maybe you won't mention the names, so we don't panic anybody on the show. But yeah, what do you think?
What I think that you need to look at the different markets and the dynamics in the different markets. So the skilled force in Nigeria, are they staying or they are going to another market?
Jeff, they're going to another market. So
good. So
we're hearing people.
So we're just talking about that
before we came on air. Right.
So the market in itself is shrinking in terms of workforce. So would you be thinking that there'll be layoffs or looking for more hands?
Right.
Looking for more hands.
Right.
So we can't compare Nigeria's case to the rest of the world.
Okay.
We are growing.
Okay.
The tech industry is booming.
Okay.
People need more experienced hands. These experienced hands are being attracted by other countries outside Africa.
Yes.
And so I do not see the immediate impact of these layoffs in the Nigerian market as we see. In fact, people need more hands in the tech space.
Optimistic. Okay, good. We finally have something positive to talk about on the show today because our last segment, goodness gracious, Jeff. Okay, tech stocks globally though, Jeff, they've been falling, and it's affected funding for at least valuations for tech firms around the world. We need funding here in Nigeria, in the African tech sector. We've been attracting funds, but do you think this sell-off in tech stocks can affect valuations and funding for tech companies in Nigeria or in Africa?
So for those who don't understand how evaluation works, there are certain things that people look out for.
Okay.
So they look out for your EBITDA size, they look out for your revenue trends.
Wait. EBITDA, earnings before interest, for our viewers,
Yes.
Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. All right, keep going, yeah?
All right, so they look at revenue trends, they look at profitability, they look at your customer concentration, they look at your dynamics in your industry.
Yeah.
All of these things are things that investors use to evaluate your business before they invest in it.
Okay.
But here is what we need to know. Those who are evaluating are investors.
Okay.
It does not mean that your business is not growing.
Okay.
It does not mean that your customers are not happy with you. It does not mean that you have a fantastic product in the market. Right? Now, recession is here and it's global. It's gradually just gaining its ground in Africa.
Yeah.
But the funds are coming outside Africa.
Right.
So you expect evaluation and impact of funds to come from there as well. But in here, companies are growing, companies are doing well.
Okay.
They're doubling their year-to-year performance. Some have raised money, some want to raise money.
Okay.
But because the funds are limited now because of the global evaluation problem that we're seeing and then drop in stock price, it then means that money will come, but it will not come as much as people want it to
so
be.
the volumes will go down.
Yes, the volumes will go down.
Okay.
But would it impact the growth of technology? I don't think so.
Okay.
I think people are finding ways in which to operate leaner so that growth can still be maintained. When investors are ready to reinvest in that industry, people will be ready for that.
Okay, so if leaner means you let go of a few staff, right? I mean, leaner means slim down.
You might not necessarily lay off,
okay,
but you might need to work on other areas of costs that you have. So for instance, you want to go into the market, you want to be very certain about investing in a certain market. It's best to look at where you're doing well when you're growing and invest in that so that you can grow as you want to grow. If you want to dabble into new technology and new market, it takes money to do that. So you need to be careful how you invest so that you have your incremental value looked into.
Okay, so if a downturn, which, I mean, you know, you're optimistic, but I guess globally, how as a tech firm, how do you navigate these waters right now? Is it, I mean, maybe you've alluded to the answer already, by getting lean, but what else can you do?
Well, it would also mean that you need to relook at the way you hire people.
Okay.
Could you double roles?
Okay.
Right? Could you be more patient with people scaling?
You sound like the Oron reports. Reducing the number of ministries, departments, and agencies and doubling roles. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, you could double roles.
Yeah.
Could you look at other ways of partnering with people and implementing business models that does not require you to be the one really funding things.
Okay.
So instead of trying to do it yourself, could you find others who have done it?
Yeah.
And then partner with them. So that way the cost of market entry is reduced. And of course, profit margins would grow up in such scenarios as well.
Where's the growth for tech fund? Is it still fintech? Is it still payments? Where's the... That seems to be where all the money is going to.
So, I think we have seen two emerging things happening. The agency banking business is still growing. Yeah. There's still a lot of room for that in the market today. Yeah. We've seen lending evolve, and we see a lot of room in that as well. We see a lot of consumer products coming. The era of wallets is coming, where we're now looking at how we can apply wallets in a more commerce-based environment instead of P2P.
Google Wallets opening in South Africa.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
So these are areas in which we see a lot of growth coming in the tech, especially in Nigeria as well.
Only a couple minutes to go, Jeff. Let's quickly get your thoughts on this Meta and Geo coming together to offer grocery shopping on WhatsApp. You can buy oranges on WhatsApp in India.
Don't be surprised. We're very innovative in Nigeria. Did you know that this project has been on in Nigeria for over 3-4 years?
That's through e-commerce firms that are on WhatsApp?
So I've been in meetings and part of committees trying to talk to them about how they can enable Africa and Nigeria. Yeah. We're just not in their roadmap for now. Yeah. But we've been talking about this in Nigeria for a while now. However, you find that people have actually developed ways in which you can shop on WhatsApp, but it will take you out to make payment.
Yeah, okay, so that's the thing. That's the part that needs to be nailed. So, to be able to make the payment on WhatsApp.
Everybody listening to this are pretty excited. Yeah. You know why? Because if this happens, then other social media websites and apps could then
But the regulators, Jeff, because in India, the Indian government, and I think it was Brazil, they've halted, not Facebook, Meta, from being able to do this because I think they were worried about what it means for the banks. Yes. If I'm paying my money on, only a minute to go, if I'm paying money on WhatsApp and I'm not utilizing, is there a threat to the banks? I think, is that what was worrying the regulators?
Do you know that this would allow things like e-Naira to really thrive?
Good point.
Yes.
Because you can integrate it.
Absolutely. So absolutely. Wallets would thrive. Right. E-commerce would thrive. So, I mean, this is opening up a whole new 79% success rate on WhatsApp read rate. Yeah. Do you know what that means? That's the biggest in the world. Yeah. And for that in Nigeria means that you're going to have more micro transactions happening, more MSMEs getting online. Yeah. Consumers can now do business. You and I mean, I can like what you're wearing. I said, you know what, on WhatsApp, let's talk. I'll buy this thing from you.
Or you can take a picture of my suits and then it will give you search options with APIs where it was made and blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely. The cost of you getting on a digital platform to run your business online is 0 to nothing.
Jeff, this was incredibly optimistic foresight on the show.
Thank you.
After our last segment with where Nigeria is going with debts. So we really appreciate having you. He's a fintech growth consultant, Jeffery Williams-Edem. Jeffery, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that.